The first reading you heard today is one of the most famous ones in the Old Testament. God visits Abraham. They have a meal together, and then Sarah finds out she's pregnant. She laughs, and they name their child Isaac, son of laughter. But the rabbis say you really can't understand the story unless you put it into all of Abraham's life, and it operates on a number of different levels. So remember Abraham's life? He got called at my age to leave his land, and he was going to be a father of a great nation and bless the world by his very presence. He leaves to go to this new land, takes along his brother and his family, his wife Sarah and all the kids, well, there are no kids yet, all the servants, and they head off to this new land, what will become the land of Israel. Everything's great, right? You know the story? No, it's not great. No, it's not good at all. It seems like wherever Abraham goes, screws up. There are wars, people are fighting with each other, then there's a famine. He goes to Egypt. When he gets to Egypt, he realizes his wife is beautiful and sexy and everybody's going to want her, and so he doesn't want to get killed. So he says, just tell him you're my sister. So she ends up having an affair with the Pharaoh. God is upset about that, and so there are plagues. People get sick. Pharaoh gets mad. Why didn't you tell me she was your wife? That's not a good thing. Get out of here. So they run away. They get back home. When they get there, there's all kinds of problems. There's more fighting. His brother gets captured. He goes and rescues his brother and his kids. And then he has a good little moment along the way where he runs into Melchizedek, and Melchizedek blesses him. But then he's really not trusting God anymore. So he brought this little slave girl along with him from Egypt. He decides, I need to have a kid because I'm getting older now. And, on Social Security, I can't really afford this anymore. And so we have to hurry up and have a kid. So he ends up getting Hagar, the slave girl, pregnant. And then his wife, Sarah, is not happy about that. She initially thought it might be a good idea, but then this is not a good idea. So that whole thing, goes downhill real fast. God decides that Abraham needs a better covenant with him, and because Abraham's still missing the point of what life is all about. The rabbis say the point he's missing is he's supposed to be a blessing. God says you'll be a father of a great nation and a blessing to the world. He forgot about the blessing. All he's been doing is worrying about getting a kid. He needs to be a blessing. And so God creates a new covenant. In the old covenants that he had with Abraham, they cut up some animals. There was things floating fire between the animals. In this one, he required something more from Abraham. That's where the whole circumcision thing begins. So here's what has happened right before what you heard today. Abraham, in his 80s, 90s, gets circumcised. All the guys, all his brother's family, they've all been circumcised. That happens right before this. So when it says that Abraham was sitting at the tent, he wasn't just sitting. He was like in a little bit of pain sitting there. But for the first time, the rabbis make a big deal about this. For the first time, Abraham now decides to be a blessing. So when strangers show up, he's sitting at the tent. And these guys show up. He doesn't know who they are. But he goes out of his way in the heat of the day to feed them and care for them, to make them feel welcome. And because he is a blessing to God, who is visiting him, God blesses him back. And so Sarah becomes pregnant. It took Abraham quite a while to realize what God had called him to do, to be a blessing. That was part of his role, to bless people that he encounters. And when he blesses those he encounters, they are blessed and he is blessed. He didn't listen well to God. I think that's part of all of our problem. I think they kept the story in there about Abraham so we'd feel normal. Because how many of us have thought we heard God and we only listened to part of what God was asking us to do? We got part of the story. And that's the problem in the gospel today. I'm not real thrilled with this translation. It says Martha was burdened with the tasks of hospitality. Other translations say she was distracted with the tasks of hospitality. And I think distraction's better. She misses who's sitting there. She's more concerned about her stuff, getting everything ready for Jesus and the boys. She's probably making her favorite foods. They'll love this. They'll think I'm the best cook in all of the land. Whatever was her stuff. And she's mad because it's too much. And so her sister's sitting there and she needs to get here and help me for her stuff. Her stuff, not Jesus' stuff. She's not paying attention to the presence of Jesus. She's not listening. It's all about Martha and not about Jesus. As it was all about Abraham and not about the blessing. And a lot of times that's true of us. Earlier this week, I was listening to a podcast from the New York Times, one of their little podcasts, on relationships. But there was I thought, a great line that the guy they were interviewing said. He said, focused attention is the currency of love. Focused attention is the currency of love. And initially I just thought, that's really cool. I can use that in my marriage prep. I think that's good for couples to hear, that focused attention is what love is all about. How you make love real. But then as I'm reading this gospel, I think, Mary had focused attention. And Martha did not. Martha was distracted with all the worries of hospitality. Her worries. Nobody else's. Mary was focused on Jesus. And being focused on Jesus, Jesus affirms that because she's learning what's important to him. And that's our task today. to focus on what Jesus wants, not us. If we can focus there and his presence there in us, then all will be well. Then we too might become a blessing to all we meet.